Abushimega Bidialas Yetichas Kanas were Amerigami Atel Nahatnira Haigagani Pari Luys. Pari Luys, two words in the Armenian language that mean good light. And the name of this program is Good Light, or Pari Luys in Armenian, and Good Light in English. And usually Armenians question me, how come at night I'm saying Pari Luys? Because their ignorance tells them that Pari Luys is used only in the morning. So you need to learn Pari Luys. That means, Pari means good, Luys means light. And the second word you need to learn is Tsergarzika, your opinion, Tsergarzika. This program is based on your opinion and my thoughts regarding how we Armenians live in today's society. I chose to do this program in English because the younger generation, the younger Armenian generation, cannot express well in the Armenian language. So therefore, they feel better in expressing in English. And then the most important thing is, I've been spotted by so many non-Armenians and asking me, aren't you the guy on television? And I tell them, my program is in Armenian. How come you guys are watching it? And usually they say, well, it's so much animated, we enjoy what you're doing on the show. So therefore, my topics are related to the Armenian identity. We as Americans come from different heritages, and mine is the Armenian heritage. Yours is the same, or it could be a different. But we both live in a society that gives us the freedom to express, to be logical, and utilize emotions when we're just making love. Besides that, all we need to do is be logical. Today, just in the city of Glendale, over 80,000 Americans of Armenian descent live, the city that has become the Glendalian city. So far in the United States, over 1.5 million. The same number that was massacred during the Armenian genocide back almost 100 years ago. So you can call in with your opinions in Armenian Gardzik, and you can call in with your Pari Luys, with your good light. Because light has so many meanings to it, including the knowledge, the education. We all strive to learn on a daily basis more and more about what's surrounding us. And you as a non-Armenian Glendale or Southern California residents who are watching this program, you'll be able to connect with the Armenian community, find out what's going on, and it is your right to express about so many issues that you are dealing with your neighbors probably. You don't understand their cultural inputs. You sometimes see us yelling and screaming and think that there's something going on, where else it is only a simple conversation between two people. And here we are living in a society that has turned into a mosaic. Almost 100 years ago or 70 years ago, it was the melting pot, United States of America. Today, it is that beautiful picture created by mosaic, which is just small petals of rocks. Each one has its own brightness, and each one transits its own color. Or we are the bouquet of flowers in the United States of America. You might not like roses, you might like carnations, you might not like jasmine, but you might like roses. But all of them together, we make the beauty of that bouquet, which is today's society. So I know you guys are wanting to express, and as much as I'm talking in English right now, I guarantee you there'll be people calling right now and trying to speak with the Armenian language. So during the week, I have 5 programs every night, 9 to to 9:30, which I conducted in the Armenian language. On Thursday nights, I want the English language so that the younger generation can participate, and people who don't understand English till now, they will not participate. My topics drive from the Armenian identity to our social behavior to our acceptance of what is modern and what is new. My topics are not limited only, we are the best of all people on this planet. My topics are about, yes, we do have people who take advantage of society. We're not the perfect people as like every other culture in this society. So I just want you to express, I want the younger generation to call in and talk about the truth, because the younger generation will express more truly about the issues than the older generation. The older generation has this mentality of, it's another Armenian good word, it's amote, it's shame. So the older generation will always utilize the amote word, amote. It's not Italian, it's Armenian. But the younger generation will express about their situation today in the United States, where their elderly are telling them about their Armenian identity. They are enjoying their American identity. And here, for some people, there is a conflict about the old and the new. To some people, there is a conflict about what is amote in one community is not amote in the other community. And then what is acceptable by the elders might not be acceptable by the young people, or vice versa. So I know I'm taking a chance, but you know what? Life is all about taking chances. And that's why we excel and we educate ourselves and we become better people just for the purpose of helping another individual. This program on Thursdays will turn into that helping hand of how the younger generation will accept society. So let me start with your Bari Luys's. And you can always say Bari Luys. Bari Luys. Bari Luys? Ayo?
Hi, Luis. Yes, I want to thank you first for your show. I'm a very avid listener to your show, and I want to truly express how I feel that this show is very important to me personally and to the Armenian public, because very few people actually come on TV and express the in-depth analytical arguments that you present as far as society and psychology and basic general norms of how Armenians have lived throughout the generations. What you mentioned on your show today is quite interesting, because when you say that the new generations tend to experience the shame or whatever through the older generations, it's something that's come across quite often, because the Armenians that grew up in America or around the world have this sense of duality where they want to experience things life the way that it is here, but at the same time, their conflicting views with their parents tend to create this sense of confusion.
It's interesting. And how old are you?
I'm 25.
You're 25. And this is the generation that I'm looking for, because the younger generation is still more confused than the older one. But when I say older, the 25, I'm 51 right now, so I'm the oldest old. And there are some elderly more than me. And it's interesting that I want this to be a medium for people your age to express the reality that they live in, where their parents deny them the right to express their reality. Thank you very much. And your name is?
Absolutely. Shant.
Excuse me?
Shant.
Shant.
Yes.
Thank you very much, and Bari Luys.
Bari Luys.
Bari Luys. Dear fellow non-Armenians, this will be a nice medium for you as a resident in Southern California, because this program airs in Southern California and it airs in Glendale too. And I know most of you have encounters with Armenians, and most of you have different acceptance of the Armenian culture. Unfortunately, we as Armenians come to the US from so many different other cultures that we are subcultures in them. You might see an Armenian from Lebanon who considers Armenian music with Arabic influence to be Armenian. You might see an Armenian from Iran whose Iranian culture has influenced his Armenian output. And for some people this is nice. but then you are not you are not put in a position to understand what Armenian culture is. Armenians from Armenia might come in with their Russian cultural influence, which is the superiority there. And then you have American Armenians who are here for 3 generations, whose ancestors came from the Ottoman Empire, whose music was more Turkish than anything else, yet they present to you as Armenian. So here is a place that we're going to discuss all those things. And I ask you to call in and ask the questions, because unless we don't ask, then we might not know what is the right and what is the wrong. And I'm not telling you that I know everything and I know every answer for every question you might ask me, but at least I'll be honest to give you a definition or find out about it and come back then Thursday next to tell you about it. Bari, Luys.
Hello, Mr. Partani. How are you?
I'm fine. How about yourself? What's your name and how old are you?
I'm 15 and my name is Henry Soroyan.
Nice meeting you. My friend on Facebook.
Yes, a dear friend. I think what you're doing is very interesting today by having a discussion in English and inviting basically the Armenian youth and non-Armenian youth to join in so they can analyze the things that our elder generation is unwilling to. But I think a huge issue is this false pretense that Armenian schools invigorate Armenian culturalism. Because yesterday, I was having a discussion with someone who goes to HBU Beluzjan, and he said the only good thing about Armenia was the alcohol. That is the cultivation that Armenian schools give to our Armenian youth.
Okay. I'm sorry you were cutting off with the transmission here. Could you repeat the last part? I'm sorry I couldn't hear it well.
From which point?
Yes?
From which point you want me to keep going?
Well, you said about drinking and such on. Could you express more that? Because I'm having your signal cut off and I can't hear it well.
Oh, basically, it just shows that this idea that if we send our kids to Armenian schools so they can learn about Armenia, that's nothing. That's like the exact opposite of what happened.
Well, I do understand now what you're saying. Unfortunately, we have this tendency as in the older generation thinking that if you go to an Armenian school, you're going to be this perfect Armenian, enriched with culture and behavior and such on. They can't realize that any Armenian school in America is equally as it could be any other public school. The only difference is that they might have more funds or less funds where you go. But
another big problem is this idea that it's more widespread in like the teenagers of Armenian people that if you to be an Armenian you must be a Christian. I mean, many times when I say that I'm an atheist, they say, "How can you be an Armenian? How can you be an atheist? You're Armenian."
Yeah. Well, that's again the amote part that the elderly feel. See, United States of America, even though it says "In God We Trust," but politically, church and government cannot mix. There are millions of atheists, and not everybody is Christian because there are other faiths in United States of America. So Armenians, they need to learn that the Christian identity is not the only thing that makes you Armenian, because a Zimbabwean Christian and a Christian from Armenia, they're brothers under God. Yet the Armenian identity is not solely the Christian identity, because the Christian identity does not recognize the Armenian culture.
And I was just trying to go in more depth about the past Armenia, pre-301 AD. And there's this fantastic man. He's an intellectual. He's from academia. His name is Dr. Vahan Setyan, and he's taught me through the links he shares and the discussions I have with him the virtues of pagan Armenia and our rich culture that has been destroyed by Armenia's ineptness to understand what is a foreign danger and what is a cultural good.
Well,
and you can see,
well, usually, just like the king is dead, hail to the king, is when systems change. So everybody, in my opinion, religion is another political means to control people. And whenever a new religion comes to society, it will destroy everything from the past. And that's how unfortunate we are. We are one of the oldest nations on this planet. We only know about ourselves from the Christian point and on, because Christianity has destroyed what was before. We had physics, we had sciences, we had astronomy, we had everything 5,000 years ago. We know nothing about it.
Your motto is Bari, Luys, and it's very striking because it literally light. You were in your Facebook, you were talking about the equation of speed, this speed equation, and we don't realize that our own Armenian scientists were the ones that developed the theory about light traveling through the atmosphere, and they developed these equations. So I think it's very related to each other. We have Armenian intellectuals that surpass the scientific community even today. And I can name many others.
Yes.
And I think if we and we go to Ottoman Cheek, what have you, that's when we truly lost.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you have called in, and I want you to spread the news. God is not coming, Jesus is not coming, but Stepan Partamyan's Thursday night program is in English.
Yes,
so let your friends, your 16, 17-year-olds, call in and express. It could be anything.
You're more popular than you think about Partamyan.
Oh, well, I know people watch me, but popularity doesn't change me. I'm sure you have seen my video from when I was 18 years old, only a few years older than you. Nothing has changed since that except I lost my hair. Bari, Luys. Bye, Luys. There you go, my friends and my colleagues and my countrymen. We are here in a society that makes a 16-year-old call in and express the way he expressed. And I'm sure lots of you guys have watched my show when a 70-year-old and 80-year-old will call in, and they're not going to be able to first, because there is a delay between the signal on television and on the phone. They're not going to be able to communicate directly, and then whatever they're going to say, it's going to be based on their emotions because I have said something. Bari, Luys. Bari, Luys. Բարև։
Զարմանում եմ հաղորդումը։
Անգլերենով դիգիմ։
Հայերեն ավելի ճիշտ է։
Վաղը, tomorrow։ Սիրելիս, for a second, սիրելիներ, ծրագիրը անգլերենով է, երեք արդեն հայտարարեցի, որ այսօր անգլերենով է։ Այսօր չեք կնահարասկնա, մի թիդեք, թողեցեք երդասարտները խոսին։ So basically I'm going to go to the advertising segment of the show, and then we'll come back and we'll continue it in English. So one more reminder, Sireli Hayer, այսօրվա ծրագիրը անգլերենով է։ Քանի նոր սերունդը ցեզանից շատ ավելի խելացի է։ Bari, Luys.
Մերի Տեր-Բարսեղյանի իրավաբանական գրասենյակում աշխատող անձնակազմը մասնագիտացված է ժառանգության եւ անշարժ գույքի, ընտանեկան խնդիրների, ամուսնալուծության եւ այլ իրավաբանական հարցերում։ Մերի Տեր-Բարսեղյանի իրավաբանական գրասենյակի մասնագետները պատրաստ են սիրով եւ նվիրումով օգնել իրենց հաճախորդներին, ցուցաբերելով անհատական մոտեցում, կտակ, լիազորագրեր եւ այլ կարեւոր փաստաթղթեր կազմելիս, որպիսի հետագայում ժառանգությունը փոխանցվի հարազատներին առանց դատարանի միջամտության։ Դիմեք իրավաբանին նախապես եւ վստահ եղեք, որ ձեր իրավունքները լիովին կպաշտպանվեն։
Եթերում երգերքոցն է մեր երգիչների սիրած երգերով եւ իրենց իսկ կատարումով։ Լոս Անջելեսի Հորիզոն հեռուստաընկերությունը ներկայացնում են երգերքոց ամենաճանաչված եւ սիրված երաժշտական նախագիծը։ Համերգը տեղի կունենա հոկտեմբերի 13-ին աշխարհահռչակ Դոլբի նախկին Կոդակ շքեղ համերգասրահում։ Երգերքոցի ընտրանին հայ երգարվեստի ամենավառ աստղերի մասնակցությամբ Սփյուռքից եւ Հայաստանից։ Բաց մի թողեք տարվա գլխավոր երաժշտական հրավառությունը։ Կհանդիպենք։
Գլխավոր հովանավոր Վալբրեսով Ֆետա պանրի տեսական ու ներկայացուցիչ Քրաջյան ընկերություն։
Ուրբաթ սեպտեմբերի 20-ին երեկոյան 8:30-ին ձեզ անմոռանալի երեկո կպարգևի առաջին անգամ Հունաստանից ժամանած հանրաճանաչ երգիչ Դիամանտիս Դիոնիսիոն։ Միայն մեկ երեկո։ Տոմսի արժեքն է $65։ Ներառյալ աղանդերը, ճաշը եւ գազավորված ըմպելիքները։ Տեղերը սահմանափակ են, նախորդ պատվիրելու համար զանգահարեք։ Babylon Mediterranean Restaurant and Hookah Lounge Bar.
One and only insurance services providing you with more than 15 years of experience. Ahmed Gabriel, president of One and Only Insurance Services. Do not gamble with your insurance needs.
Our customers come back to us because we treat them well. We like our customers to be happy.
One and Only Insurance Services.
It's what we do, how we do it, and why we do it.
I have accomplished many things in my lifetime. Achieved success and wealth, living in luxury and enjoying the best that the world has to offer. Built trust and respect. Acquired taste for the finer things. Through it all, I never lost my integrity. Value and cherish memories of my homeland and its unforgettable taste. Filikia, ultimate luxury.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back, and this show is Bari Luys in English. Bari Luys means good light. I'm just going to warn you that I might be interrupted in Glendale. The Glendale signal is still getting organized right now, so my show might not end exactly as planned, but you will have a cut and move on. But within this week, we'll fix that problem. I guess, again, the issue is, for the last 17 years, I've been doing this program in Armenian, and I've been facing with so many issues in the community about my openness about how we live and what we do. I decided starting tonight, every Thursday night, to have an English language program for two purposes. One is for the younger Armenian generation who cannot express freely in the Armenian language, to be able to express in the English language. And secondly, yes, you, the non-Armenian viewer who have stopped me so many times in the streets of Glendale and asked me, aren't you the guy on television? So here is an opportunity for you to call in and express your love, your anger, your coexistence with the Armenian community. It is very important that we communicate. Without communications, nothing could be resolved. As I said in the beginning of the program, you might hear an Armenian arguing, but it turns out to be that they were just having a discussion because they are loud, such as any other culture who comes from Middle East. Our structural values are different. An Armenian will say amote, which means, it's not an Italian word, by the way, it's an Armenian word, which says it's shameful, shame, instead of saying shame on you, amote. And we have this conflict between the younger generation and the older generation, where the older generation, who doesn't even know how to utilize a computer or an iPhone, is faced with the younger generation who has every knowledge of everything by just Googling it. And the older generation thinks that the younger generation will not know about it because they're not that experienced. Unfortunately, in today's society, what is an experience and what is a knowledge available on the internet, it's almost getting there in the same balance. Let's go on with Bari Luys.
Bari Luys?
Bari Luys?
Hello, I'm a young Armenian viewer, young Armenian American viewer.
Yes, and how old are you?
I am 18 years old. I'm calling your channel to go ahead and ask what exactly it is that has caused you to change your mind and make you do your Thursday night television shows in English.
Reality. Reality. See, we go through life. See, because you know I'm like the most person who's gonna change his Armenian language to English. But reality forces me to change one show to English, because in today's society, you will be able to express better and freely in the English language than in the Armenian language. And if I force you to do that thing, you're going to hate it and you're going to run away from it. But if I make you speak it and express it in English, you're going to be more free to express, because the main issue is you. It's not the 80-year-old who's going to Forest Lawn, either the two ones near Glendale. Because the next generation for the next 50 years will determine how the Armenian identity can survive in the United States of America. Based on what I have documented in the East Coast, where the first generation who came, they were more adamant about their Armenian identity, yet 2 generations after them, almost nothing Armenian identity is there except they go to church. And going to church is not Armenian identity. Anybody can go to a church. So please express freely if you have any issues that would you like to talk to the community, because you know everybody watches Stepan, even people who hate him. Bari Luys. Sergavzika? Okay. So I guess she only wanted to know why I am changing from Armenian to English. Well, as I said, one is the reason was her, and the second one is the non-Armenian speaking people who communicate with Armenians, they have no place to express what they know or what they like or dislike about this Armenian culture. And I guess once we are living together, we coexist together, as much as I respect your input, you need to respect my input too. And here is an opportunity every Thursday night. I think that it's already, the show should end right now. Here's an opportunity for all of you, the English-speaking people who have interest in the Armenian culture, who know about the Armenians, yet they need to find out more or express about them. Please call this show every Thursday night. The show is called Bari Luys, which means good light, but Armenians use Bari Luys only in the morning, and I use it at night. Bari Luys. Աբուշի մեկը պիտի լաս, եթե չհասկնաս, որ Ամերիկայի Միացյալ Նահանգները հայկական է։ Bari Luys.
Մերի Տեր-Բարսեղյանի իրավաբանական գրասենյակում աշխատող անձնակազմը մասնագիտացված